right now, our photographer, Chris Chavez, is freaking out. He's refusing to come into the dark cell. He's saying that he doesn't want him inside. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't want him
I-
inside.
Sorry,
Ariana.
I don't have any scary ghost stories.
That's okay, Tina. I don't want to
Who
know
is
any
that?
stories.
Tim.
Oh,
That was such a deep
Tim,
voice.
it keeps turning on and off. I don't know if the camera died or if, like, they are upset at us.
I don't think so. We were just talking about nice stuff.
I know. We were talking about Pearl and Elena.
What time is it? Hey, 8 minutes away from 10:30.
It still had well over 3 hours of recording time. The camera's completely dead.
How many times did it make that noise?
It
What?
turned off and on at least twice.
I still got 3/4 battery and 26 hours of space.
My shit was good.
Okay.
That's good.
You're getting
Yeah,
shot.
it turned on and off, but it just showed I still have a little over about 2 hours and 20 minutes of battery life.
Should we use the app and ask if they want us here? Oh, Ariana's not okay with the app.
Check the mic.
Hey, it's Sierra and Tina's.
Ah,
Did it die?
you can see battery there?
Very cute. Well, how about you?
Got your battery on your
Oh,
machine?
it's dead.
In there?
Oh, it's
I
dead?
don't.
Yeah.
I don't, but I think it's just because I don't know. It's not that I don't want to have them, it's just that, I don't know. I feel like I'm protected. So, I think it's just different for everybody, honestly. And it's not that I'm not open to having, like,
You still
I'm
have
open
to
to
have the
things like that
camera, right?
happening, or Chris's light falling down,
Yeah.
but I think I just feel protected. I still feel scared, but
Did you have the audio on the camera too?
I don't feel anything.
You don't. How about you? Do you feel anything?
I feel, well, I mean, we felt some energy earlier, and then I had that little fit of me, like, screaming and running when Chris upset the spirits in the hospital room over there. And honestly, like, I've never, like, maybe I have felt energy before, but I've never accepted it as energy. And so now I'm, like, seeing the world differently, I guess. I mean, like Ariana said, she feels protected. I mean, of course I'm gonna go home and pray. I tried bringing a rosary in here, Tina, and our photographer, Chris, was like, Sierra, you need to stop being dramatic, but, like, I just feel like my religion protects me in some way. That's why I wanted to bring my rosary in here.
Well, and it's, having a rosary is perfectly fine. I actually used to wear one all the time, and I feel naked without it. Especially going on investigations, because it actually broke on me.
That's why.
I need to get a new one.
Oh, yeah, you need to
When
get one.
did you get that?
I had it done years ago
Why is there a red circle around it?
to insinuate the power of it.
Oh.
That rose is for my dad, and that one's for my grandmother. And this one is for my mom when she passes. Yeah,
How nice.
But
that's my protection.
Usually for me, it's, just in my head. I mean, I'm not a really religious person, but I'll still, do like a little prayer for protection when I'm on my way. And if we're on location and the energy seems to be more towards the negative side, I have a couple different protection prayers that I have on my phone that I'll pull out and I'll say those on investigation.
I think it's just different people.
Yeah.
I think they're more open or not different. I don't know. That is something that I think someone's told me something, but that's the first thing I want to ask when we get where we're going. Is like, how did that work? Like, were we right about any of that stuff, or how did that? How were we able to communicate with people? Because I'm just interested in that. Yeah, I never, like when we were in Lutz, I didn't feel anything. I feel like sometimes when people describe empaths, I think that sometimes I am one because whenever I go near like an ambulance or a fire truck, I feel like there's a barrier where if I cross it, I start to feel like heavy, like something weighs on me. So I don't know, like some of those things things like that happen, I think, could I be an empath or could I have feelings like that? But
Or
then,
sensitive.
yeah, or just sensitivity to that. But
I've had stuff like that my whole life too. It's been chills with me.
yeah,
When I feel something or feel like something's around, I get full body chills. I've been that way since I was a little kid.
I think I feel
And
like
I've always questioned it my whole life, whether
thin, tight-chested. Yeah, that's why the whole time we were walking around Luke's, I had my hand over my
That one time, when I,
chest to protect, like.
yeah, that one
protect
time when you
Mom.
come out of the room there and I told you to breathe and calm
Yeah.
down, I could see it all over you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were just about to go over the edge.
I feel more comfortable this time, I think. The first time I was like, I was so scared, but now that I've done it and, you know, we've learned how to be respectful to,
Yeah, that's the biggest
People
thing,
are
is show them respect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they're a-holes, show them respect.
It helps a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm like in my hair. I'm like, which,
The look on your face when I said somebody is right here, you put your arm over there and then you just had like this look of shock on your face. And then my arm raised to say how tall he was. You put your hand there and it's like, yeah, you could see the look on your face. You wanted to run.
yeah, I did. I was like in the moment of, is this for real? But because you can feel it. I don't know, and I remember, the reason why it all connected for me is because a couple months ago, we're at this fair. I don't remember which one. I think it was I don't know. It was one of the city fairs they put on, like little festivals. And we were talking to a psychic, and I can't think of her name. Oh, Cindy. Her name's Cindy. She's great. And she was like, you're sensitive. Like, you're like intuitive. That's what she said. You're intuitive. So like when you said that and I felt energy, I was like, oh my goodness, am I being intuitive?
Yeah, see, I don't think I have that, just because I don't know, I'm not open enough to it or whatever, but.
I mean, when I was little, I would always watch like witch shows and stuff. Like Charmed was my favorite show and stuff. But actually doing it is something totally different. Like I could be at a crime scene, we all know this. They'll be like, 10 people shot. Sierra, get in the car and go. And I don't think twice. I just run. I grab my equipment. I'm in the car. And of course, like I feel remorse for those families. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how's everybody doing? Who's injured? Those feelings. But like at that same time, you're detached until you leave the scene because you have a job to do. And here I'm like wholly like a part of this story. Like I'm feeling it for the first time.
Well, you know, I don't look at them here for
Don't look at them.
18 years on and off, really not on and off, but I don't just do this. But I have never had a sense of how big this room is,
Yeah.
this cell is. Think of the effort it took to carve this out. The other thing that
They use
if you
prisoners
look
to
at
do
the
it, too.
ceiling and how black it is.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
That means that people that were in the Great Depression trying to get to California,
Thought it was gold up there?
they were trying to, no, they weren't allowed in, and they came and lived in the prison and built fires.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
makes
charred.
sense. Yeah.
So why?
Maybe that's who was shot.
I don't know, I'm not sure. Because it's, the gentleman, when I put my hand over here, and I was describing him, because I put my hand about right here. He was about this tall, medium build, and it's like his facial hair, it's like it hasn't been trimmed or combed in years. You know, thick mustache, beard was gigantic. I could see some kind of a hat, and his hair was about maybe down to here, ear level.
Well, the thing would be here, in the prison, you had your hair cut once a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're a prisoner. Once a week, and you had a shave and all that. You could have facial hair, it had to be trimmed. But that whole group of people in the Depression,
Yeah.
1929 and 30, down and out and brokenhearted, and you
Yeah.
just don't know who those folks were.
Right.
Yeah, and at the same time that I was, you know, seeing that, I started to get, it was like a sharp pain right here, and then I could feel it going all the way through, and the pain was like larger in the back, which would indicate, to me, it was something like a gunshot wound. You know, small entry hole, large exit hole.
I don't feel that.
Ariana.
But I mean, I just think it reminds me of the book
chisels and a long bar bit, just like the miners used to do it. They had a big long steel with a bit on the end of it, and it was extendable, and they beat it with sledgehammer. Just like the miners used to. You can see how rough it is.
Yeah.
You can tell it's just chipped away. It's not been drilled or anything, or it'll be smooth sided. It was just beaten through, just like this whole room. That's the way this whole room was. That's why the sides are rounded and stuff like it is.
Did the girls have to do any physical work?
Everybody did.
Not really, they didn't put them on a chain.
Oh, no, they did. They helped with the furniture.
They stayed in their cell.
Yeah, they helped with the furniture. They made bed mats, clothing, stuff like that.
That's good. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, they have to dig these
We've
cells
been in
out.
here for 43 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's longer than I
Time
thought.
flies when
Yeah.
you're in the dark cell.
Yeah,
That says the guy who was in here 120, oh, I thought it was a week.
88
All right.
days. The three-fingered Jack, he spent 88